Yeah, there we go. Okay. So settling in, coming to your seat. Coming to your seat in a comfortable, easy way, sitting comfortably. So depending on what kind of chair you're sitting on, maybe your feet don't touch the floor and you're going to put a pillow or a blanket under the soles of your feet so that you're not resting on the balls of on your toes, so that your heels actually rest also. And then you're welcome to to rest against the back of the chair if that feels good for you, taking a supported seat to start. Sitting on the edge of the chair, either way, you're finding the sitting bones. Even if you rock from side to side, you'll feel the ends of the pelvis and in 2 points that you rest on. And we'll soften into that seat, the soles of the feet resting on the earth with the knees straight off the hips-ish. How does that feel? The hips resting into the chair. Softening the chin to the notch in the collarbone. And allowing the focus to be on the breath, maybe softly closing your eyes. Using the exhales to let go of any obvious gripping tension. As we start our practice. The practice of yoga, joining the mind, the body, and the spirit to become more balanced. Starting with a question to consider. Does the ability to perform advanced asana, physical yoga, make you an advanced yogi? Is it, if you can do a handstand, does that make you advanced in your yoga? So does that mean that if you have an illness or an injury or you're getting older or are less mobile, does that mean you're less advanced? Bringing awareness to the breath. Awareness to resting in the physical body. Scanning your body, just noticing any sensation without labeling it good, bad. Maybe placing one hand on the upper chest, connecting a little deeper to the breath and how it moves through your physical body, the response of the body to the breath. What do you notice? Smoothing out the breath, evening out the inhales and the exhales. And then softening your hands back to your lap if you've lifted them. And moving into the physical practice of yoga without any expectation or any judgment, Softly blinking open your eyes, extending the fingertips to reach towards the earth, and inhaling, floating the arms out, around, and up, exploring your range of motion right now, right here. Exhaling, palms float together to the heart center. Being curious about your shoulders, your arms, your hands, and how they move together. What happens in the rest of the body without judgment, just noticing how the rest of the body, how it's all connected, and how maybe you're efforting in one part of the body to make that circle of the arms a little more accessible. And then floating the arms to reach towards the earth. Just noticing, what are your habits, the habits of the body, the habits of the mind. And then allowing the hands to float to the chair, either side of the chair, the back of the chair. So now you're scooting forward, onto the edge of the chair. Not resting into the back. So now we have to use our core, whether you realize it or not. So now the body's responding to gravity and nothing to rest on. So you can actively gather the pit of the belly in and up, and inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Using the breath to soften. Nice. And then draw the shoulder blades to the center of the back a little closer. Notice the front body, the sensation of the front body expanding, yes. The back body, the muscles in the back body contracting. Maybe you might use the hands into the chair to activate the muscles in the arms to find a little more length in the back body through the tail, from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Maybe with your inhale, you're able to lift the heart to where the wall meets the ceiling. Gentle back bend. Not forcing anything, just allowing a gentle opening. And breathing into that space, the back bend coming from the fanning open of the upper body. Still rooting into the hips, lifting out of them, and then opening up to the ceiling, softening the back of the neck. One more big inhale, exploring this back bend. And with your next exhale, the belly gathers and we inhale up to neutral. And then draw the belly towards the chair in back of you, the wall in back of you, to carve it out without dropping the heart. Can you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the lower back without compressing the front body, without dropping the shoulders and the heart? With your inhale, now we're doing pelvic tilts, right? Rocking the hip points forward, lifting the heart a little, adding to that back bend, addition to the back bend. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, hug the belly in, but don't round through the upper back. Very important. Move with your breath to explore your lower back, a back bend, and the opening of the lower back. Important not to compress the front body while you're seated. Always the risk of vertebral fractures. So we want to keep that opening, that length. And when you sit, there's a greater risk than when you're standing or kneeling because gravity is compressing the spine. Find the breath, let it guide you, and then soften into stillness, into a neutral spine. And roll through those shoulders. The hands rest on the thighs if they aren't there already. Remember, I only offer suggestions and you get to find a more comfortable or easy way to move in and out of the pose and forward a few times. And inhale the shoulders to the ears and exhale, let them drop. Big inhale. And exhale, soften. So continuing with our exploration of the 6 movements of the spine. We did the forward and the back, and that's about it, right? Yes. So now we're inhaling the left arm up overhead, softening the right shoulder down the back, maybe letting that right arm just hang as if it were in an empty sleeve. Nice. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, soften through that left shoulder. Exhale, the belly gathers. Inhale, we're lengthening again to float over to the right, but keeping weight in that left hip. Yes, inhale up to center. Exhaling, hinging at the center of the body, not compressing the right side, but lengthening through the left side. Does that make sense? So even though we're coming over to the right, we're not collapsing. Find a way to float easily in and out of this pose. Maybe the elbow bends, coming into cactus, and then extends over, keeping that weight in the left hip. The sitting bone, nice. Last time, up and over, or not. And then floating into stillness, shake it out, let it go, roll through those shoulders. Find some stillness there. Let the chin tuck just a little. You feel a release in the back of the neck. And let the right ear float to the right shoulder. How does that feel? What do you notice? Breathing into the right side of the neck, top of the shoulder, maybe even the upper back. Do you still have equal weight on both sides of the hips? Are you still supporting the back body by gathering in and up, engaging the core, but letting go of effort? With your inhale, come all the way up to center. Soften the left hand alongside your side, and inhale the right arm alongside your ear or thereabouts. Maybe it stays in cactus. Maybe this side's a little different and you're not lifting the arm at all, but you're still aware of the shoulder blades active to the center of the back, of the lengthening through the crown of the head, of the rooting of the sitting bones. Inhale up. Exhale, floating over, inhaling up to center. Really hard to do this without arms. Maybe exploring something different. Being curious about the opening in the right side of the body without compressing the left. Flowing in and out of this side opening, side stretch. Finding a comfortable way or being curious about a different way. Nice, last time. Keeping that space, that length, and then coming back up to center and floating that arm down and rolling through the shoulders, allowing them to settle down the back and just taking 2 rounds of breath in the stillness of seated mountain pose, rooting through the sitting bones, and lengthening through the crown of the head, breathing into the heart space. Nice, and with your next exhale, the hands float to the heart center, and we inhale and lengthen. Maybe the elbows lift just a little. How does that change the pose? Does this feel sustainable? The palms come together gently. We're not pressing. We're breathing into the heart space. Inhale there. Exhale, the heart moves to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, staying to the right. Pause here. How did that feel in the lower back? Did you notice anything? Maybe you need to shift the right hip back and the left hip forward a little. You're still facing forward, but now you're shifting. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, gentle twist to the right. Inhale to center. Important to keep that heart lifted, to move with the core body from the waist up, with a softness to the lower back, not efforting with the shoulders or the head. Can you keep your chin in alignment with the fingertips? Just noticing. And then maybe you pause in the stillness of this twist, this gentle twist. And maybe you experiment with gazing over that right shoulder. How does this change the pose for you? Are you still aware of the sitting bones? Are you efforting into the lower back? Are you breathing into the heart space? With your next inhale, float back to center. Even out the hips, staying there, or allowing the left hip to float back and the right hip to come a little forward, sitting bone, so that now you're a little forward but at an angle. Inhaling there, soften through the shoulders, gather the belly. Exhale, floating the heart to the left. Keeping the head stacked over the shoulders floating around the hips. Where do you land? No effort, just exploring the twist to the left, allowing the breath to guide you. And then maybe coming into stillness in that twist to the left. Soften, root into the sitting bones. There's weight in the sitting bones. Are you efforting into the legs? Are you creating tension to rest in this pose? Maybe you're curious about gazing over the left shoulder. And breathing into the heart space. With your next inhale, floating back to center, coming to sit. In neutral spine with all your natural curves. So we've moved side to side, twisted and forward and back, the 6 movements of the spine. With your next inhale, allow the fingertips to float to the earth. Lengthen, extend, inhale, the arms float out, around and up. Exhale, as the arms reach back, we hinge forward from the hips. Important to keep that long spine. Maybe the palms flip and you press them away towards the ceiling. Keep lengthening through the front body. And maybe as you come to stillness here in this forward fold, you exhale, hug the pit of the belly in, and allow the tailbone to heavy into the chair. You feel that gentle opening into the lower back, and you're still breathing into the heart space, lengthening from there. With your exhale, gather the belly. Inhale, float the arms all the way up. Bring it to the heart center. Let's flow a little in and out of this. Inhale into cactus arms. Exhale, fold forward from the hips, long spine. Inhale there. Exhale, gently tuck the tail to the chair. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, heart center. One more time like this. Inhale, extending the arms by the ears, maybe. Exhale, the belly gathers, moving folding, hinging forward from the hips, mindfully with intention to keep that long spine, softening the back of the neck. Core work here. There's weight in both feet to keep you from falling forward. Exhale, maybe the tailbone can round to the chair. With your next inhale, float all the way up. Exhale, heart center. Roll through the shoulders. Let them soften down the back. Just a few more movements here. Exhale, do you have access to hugging that left knee in without losing that long spine? Maybe you interlace the hands in back of the thigh, soft shoulders, maybe over the shin. Maybe it's not accessible to you. Maybe you're using strap, and that's easier. Soft shoulders, long spine. Can you move that leg around in the hip socket? Circles. The opposite direction. Nice. Awesome. Just exploring here. And then find stillness there. And extend that leg straight out in front of you. Let the heel float to the floor. You're on the edge of the chair, yes. You're still activating the core muscles. You're reaching into that heel, flexing the feet, drawing the toes to you. And as if you could slice that leg into the floor, the muscles in the top of the thigh are active, allowing the back of the leg to open, yes. You're breathing, you're softening, and then release that and point and flex. And then make some circles, brushing the toes to the floor or working towards that, allowing for the movement to echo into the rest of the leg. But knowing that that movement comes from the ankle, reverse the circles. Find stillness, fan the toes out, curl them in, inhaling, exhaling. Nice, then step that foot forward. Inhale, find length. Exhale, gather the belly. Keep the heart right where it is. Bring the thigh to the belly, not the belly to the thigh. Soften the shoulders, lengthen through the heart space. And then get some movement in this hip. If that feels right, circle the other direction. Nice. And then find some stillness there. And extend that leg straight out in front of you. Flex the foot. Notice what you notice. Maybe this side feels a little different. And then as if you could slice that heel into the floor. Activate, hug the muscles to the bone without efforting into the back of the knee. Breathe, soften, and then release that and point and flex. And make some circles through the ankle. And reverse it. Maybe this side feels a little different than the other. We're not symmetrical. And then find stillness there. Did we fan the toes out? We should have fanned the toes out, curl them in. And then slide that leg in. And we're going to make some hip circles here, or get some movement in the hips here. The heart stays forward and lifted. And as if you could make circles horizontal, parallel to the floor. Yeah, just rolling around, noticing as you go forward, slow it down. What muscles engage as you move around in that circle? Because the body is responding to gravity. Can you keep your head over your shoulders? Yes, and so keep gazing forward. So if you can see me, take a little gaze up to me. So we're not hinging, we're just rotating. We're not Yeah, it's a little bit different. We're just shifting the weight. Sorry, I used the word just. We're shifting the weight to the left hip, the front of the thighs, to the right, and the back of the pelvis, the sitting bones. Slow it down and reverse the circles. Notice the transfer of work in the thoracic body from the belly muscles to the side, to the back, to the opposite side. And then rest in stillness. Let that go. Sigh the breath out if that helps. It is so hard to do 30 minutes. With your next inhale, allow the arms to extend out around and up. With your exhale, float it to the heart center. 2 more rounds like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling, heart center. 1 more round like that. Inhaling up. Exhaling, heart center. Allow the hands to rest on the lap. Take a shoulder loop, they come to the ears, they hug together, they slide down. Coming to rest on the back of the chair if that suits you, placing blocks or a blanket or something under your feet. Maybe you have a blanket or a pillow and it feels better, easier, more peaceful to rest your arms on that blanket. So supporting yourself in a seated Shavasana. Softly closing your eyes, releasing into the support of the chair, the security beneath you, allowing the legs to maybe widen away from each other, the soles of the feet to rest on something, allowing the focus to come to the breath. Softening the belly, breathing into the wings of the heart. Your natural rhythm, no control, no efforting. Scanning the body with your breath, noticing any sensation without judging it. Has there been a shift from the start of the practice? Can you sense a shift in the physical body? A shift maybe in the mental, emotional body. The goal of yoga is to embrace ourselves so we can embrace others. We start with the physical body. So that we can access the mental, emotional body. Allowing for whatever comes up. Having compassion for being human, for being learners in this lifetime. aware of your body resting on the chair, aware of the earth beneath you and the vast sky above you, deepening your inhales and exhales. And what will you take off your mat and into your life? What has your practice given to you today? Slowly bringing your body back from stillness, small gentle movements. And with your inhale, extending the arms one more time. And with your exhale, floating the palms together to rest at the heart center. And we lift our hearts and we bow our heads to honor that perfect light that shines in all of us, uniting us. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. And we go into our lives with the intention that our practice be continuous, that our hearts be steady, that our efforts be of benefit to all beings. May all beings be safe. May they be healthy. May they be happy. May all beings find their freedom. May they know peace. And may they move through the world with ease. Namaste. Thank you for experimenting in a 30-minute-ish practice.